Hey everybody, Richard Smith here with Man Cave Kitchen. I have a special episode today because this episode will mark the first time that I am video recording using my grill. Now I've had it for a week or two and I've been using it and getting used to it. And you would say, well, what's there to get used to about a grill? Well, you know how us guys are. We just like to do things our own way. So today, this beautiful Sunday, I am taking the time to finally take that beautiful ribeye. I had bought two of them at one time and I ate one that night and I stuck the other one in the freezer. Taking that beautiful ribeye out and I am going to cook this bad boy up. Now I've had it in this pan, letting it defrost a little bit. I'm also going to be doing some french fries on the grill. I've got my pizza plate here with some french fries laying on there. We're going to stick it on there. And then to eat later and for now, because I'm not going to eat all this at one time, I've got some Suddenly salad, pasta salad classic. I don't want the classic. Hang on a second. I want that's right, the ranch and bacon. We'll do the classic another time. So, been working on my Man Cave Kitchen setup here, getting a few things done. I've got my kitchen in better shape. I've got my space here a little more organized. Got my two refrigerators and freezers. I've bought some pots and pans, and I am working hard to make it easier for me to cook at home. And what I do with Man Cave Kitchen is I cook easy stuff. It's nothing fancy. Anybody can do it. Most people do it. But for those people who don't cook a lot, let's say you've never cooked, let's say you've always had your spouse cook for you and suddenly you're by yourself and no one to cook for you, well, this show is for you. It's about cooking simple and how I do it. You can take how I do it. If you want to learn from it, you can do it yourself and make it easier on yourself. Take little bits and pieces here and there, adapt it to however you're living your life. So I got my stuff all laid out. I've got my outdoors on fire and going, and we're going to step out there for the first time outside in the Man Cave Kitchen. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome to the outdoor version of Man Cave Kitchen. I have started my grill up. It is fired up and good and hot. Letting that get ready. I have my pot of water over here for my pasta salad. And I want to talk a little bit about that real quick. Now this setup I've got right here is my temporary setup. I may be building a porch later on down the road, I'm not sure yet, but right now this works for me and it's real simple. Just to show you a few things, I'm going to take the camera now and show you a few things, and then we'll be right back with this view. Okay, so for these purposes I want to show you my setup. And I don't do it exactly the same way every time, but this is kind of gives you an idea. I have a bucket over here with soap water in it for washing my dishes when I'm through. I used on by antibacterial. There we go. These pots and pans, I've got two of these. Actually, I got one smaller than that in the water right now and cleaning that up. But I use this camp stove, or I used to use this camp stove because it's the only thing I had for a burner. But, now I've got this grill. And I love this grill because it's very simple and small for me. It has two burners on it. I don't need four burners. Two's fine, one's fine for me. Usually I only cook on one. And then I have this right here for my pot to boil my water in, cook my peas and carrots, whatever I want to fix. I'm going to take butter, which is right here, country crock. I put it in this little pan, and I'm going to set this little pan right up here on top to let that butter melt. I have my stuff out here for my cooking. I got my Suddenly pasta salad there. I'm going to put in there. I used two things of water and just regular water in this pot here that I'm going to turn on in just a minute. And for my steak, oh yes, look at that steak. That is a nice sirloin steak. I've already sprinkled a little bit of Lawry seasoned salt on there. I'm gonna put some mustard on there and a little bit of Heinz 57 just for the taste. And I'm gonna be adding the butter to it as I cook it. So this is my setup for today. I'm getting ready to take some of this stuff down to get it out of the way. To put the butter back in the refrigerator, obviously. But I want to show you this, and we'll be right back. So welcome back to the Man Cave Kitchen. I am here with my grill, and I'm ready to start cooking. I know you're thinking about time, right? So my butter's melting pretty good. My steak is in the perfect position. I'm going to take my French fries on my pizza plate. I'm going to put it right there. Now, if you really wanted to, you could use a cast iron skillet, I have a cast iron skillet. But I'm just going to try that on the pizza plate to see how it does. Obviously, I have my mitten with me. I'm not worried about getting burnt, but always take precautions. Unfortunately, this eye doesn't work exactly right, so I am going to have to light this the hard way. My gas is going to my grill. Obviously, it's cooking, it's warming up now. I'm going to take this match and light that bad boy. Get that going. All right. Got my pot of water with 2 bottles of water in there. Going to put it on the eye. Make sure the handle is turned away from you so you don't actually accidentally hit it and it falls on you. And got that started. Now it's going to take about 5-10 minutes for the water to be boiling. That's great timing. Once the water is boiling, then I'm going to add my pasta. So I've got my French fries already on the grill. Now I'm going to take this beautiful steak and I'm going to lay it on there. I've already salted, Lawry salted one side. I'm going to lay that side down. There we go. I'm going to salt the other side lightly. Can always add more to it later. Don't want to add too much, it overcomes the taste of the steak. Just going to put a little bit there. All right, now, I like to add mustard to my steak. Now y'all go, ooh, that's sick. Well, I like mustard. I love deviled eggs. And one of my favorite things is fixed deviled eggs, and I'm definitely gonna do that in another show. But I'm gonna add just a little bit of mustard to my steak, just enough to give it a taste. Now, I'm gonna spread that around, get that good and on my steak. And then I'm going to do what makes it really good is I'm going to add some butter to it. Take a little bit of butter, add it on there. And the one thing I do need is a better spoon or brush, but for right now this works. So I'm adding my butter to my steak. I'm going to take my little fork thing here. Love my proper terms, don't you? And I'm going to punch holes in my steak. This helps get that butter and mustard down inside my steak along with the Lawry salt to add a little bit of flavor to it. Now, got that all taken care of. I'm going to take my spatula again and I'm going to just smooth it down inside the holes just to add a little, make sure that gets in there really good. My French fries, I've never done fries like this before on a plate in the grill, so this is a learning experience for me too. But I'm going to guess that once I close this lid, those fries are going to take about 15 minutes to cook. Now, the great thing about being the chef is you get to taste test stuff. Okay, so what you can do when you think your potatoes are at the right spot is you can try one out, just see how it tastes, see if it's just right for you. Same way with the steak. Just cut a little bit of steak off there, take a bite, see what you think. So we're going to let this cook for a little bit, and we'll be back. One little thing that helps me out, I like to wash my dishes as I cook. That way, when my meal is ready to eat, I sit down to eat my meal, I don't have to wash a lot of dishes afterwards because my belly's full, and I would rather do it that way. So I normally have a strainer out here. I gotta go grab my strainer real quick. So as you can see, what I did is I went to the dollar store. I grabbed a real cheap little thing to put my dishes in, let them dry out. And that works just great. Nothing expensive. Dollar store stuff works good.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I have company out here with me today. Got my beautiful granddaughter. Not putting her on film because she don't want to be on film. But my water is coming along nicely. My steak is ready to flip over. I'm gonna take and I could use some metal tongs, but I'd prefer to use my soft ones. Flip that bad boy over, and look at that steak, oh my goodness. So we've got to add a few things to it real quick. Got the French fries going well, they're looking good. They're burning on the one side, so a good idea would be to flip it over. I'm gonna do that in just a second when I get two hands. So everything's coming great. So I got my camera back where it needs to be. And I'm just gonna take my hands, flip these bad boys over. I could use my tongs. This is my supper, yes. Actually, it's an early supper, but yes.
It's your lunch.
It's my lunch.
I don't care if they can have it. Right now,
Hey, what's the language?
Hot.
Talk nice. Supposed to be a little lady.
I will shoot you.
She's got a water gun, by the way. She's threatening to use it. Oh no, I'm knocking my fries off. It would be one good thing to have about the other play with the sides on it. Don't knock your fries off, but hey, that's what it's all about, right? Trial and error. You learn. These French fries are coming along real well. It won't be much longer, they'll be done. All right, so I flipped my steak over. I'm gonna add just a tad bit of sauce. I'm gonna add just a tad bit of butter. Mustard. And then we're going to put some butter on there. I'm gonna use my bit here, grab my butter, and just pour it on there. Woo! Oh yeah. And be thankful I'm wearing a mitt. That would have definitely been hot. So, fries are almost done. My water has about got to the place where it started boiling now. And my steak is looking pretty good. As I said before, one of the great things about being the chef is getting the taste test. So, having said that, I moved the camera. Let's try this bad boy out and see what I think. Here, cutting a little bit of steak in, and that looks perfect. Oh my goodness. That looks perfect for me. I like mine not quite done. Medium, no pink. That is a perfect looking steak for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take that bad boy off because that is what I would call perfection right there. All right. My fries are done. How do I know that? I haven't tasted them yet. I just know by looking at them. They're good and brown, they're good and stiff. You can kind of tell once you get used to it what they look, if they're done or not by the way they look. So I'm gonna cut this off and this off, continue cooking my water over here for my pasta. I'm gonna take my fries, see if I can do this, and add them to, without spilling them all over the place, add them to my plate. Obviously, the dog now has some food to eat. And I will give that for him. So, there you go. Check that out. That's what you call a meal. Can't really see the steak that good because of the fries, but hey, that looks good. You're gonna enjoy that one. Y'all, gonna come back in just a moment when we get the pasta about ready, and we'll be back. All right, our pasta is pretty much done. Now, I'll let it on here for about 15, I put it on here for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna cut my burner off and make sure I close my gas up. That's very important. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain this out using this, and then we're gonna go inside and put it all together. All right, so I'm inside now. Let me cut my air conditioner off so I can talk without having that in my way. So I've drained my pasta out, and I'm gonna use this baking dish or casserole dish, whatever you wanna call it, to mix my stuff in. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I have already prepared a half a cup of mayonnaise. Use whatever kind of mayonnaise you like to use. Right now I'm using Hellman's. I prefer Duke's, but hey, whatever works, right? All right, I put my seasoning packet in there. I have added my mayonnaise, or am adding my mayonnaise. Sorry for you English teachers out there that are having a fit. Use your proper language, Richard. Oh, I'm sorry. What was her name? I forgot her name now. Anyway, now I'm going to mix this together a little bit. My pasta's still good and warm. I'm going to add that in together. And probably should be using a wooden spoon. That would make good sense. Make good sense. Hey, let's make good sense, man. Want to make burn? All right. Oh yeah, I'm talking to myself. You can definitely tell this is Man Cave Kitchen, right? All right. Now we're gonna add our pasta. Yes. Put that to the side, and we're gonna mix it all in together. Mixing it good and thorough. Instructions will tell you to let this sit for about 10-12 minutes, I believe. Let's see, what does the instructions say? Yes, I actually read the instructions. If desired, stir in a few tablespoons of milk to moisten the refrigerated salad. Let's see. Okay, doesn't say. Or I can't read it one. I ain't got my granny glasses on. Anyway, I mix this all up real good. And then I've got my steak and fries sitting right here all ready to go. Got my Thousand Island, which I love to eat Thousand Island with my steak. And my ketchup and my french fries. And I am going to add just a hair of this to my plate, because I want to eat just a tad bit of it now when it's good and warm. But I'm also going to save it for later tonight for my supper. All right, there you go, folks. This is Man Cave Kitchen for you. That's right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Man Cave Kitchen. We got the steak, we got the fries, we got the pasta salad with ranch and bacon in it. Oh, don't forget the ranch and bacon. Some good eating. Hope you guys enjoy. Take care and see you soon.